JinnTap is a web-based what you see is what you mean editor, which means it does not try to exactly reproduce the final output you will see, but displays the logical structure of the text in a user-friendly way. JinnTap is based on TipTap, which again provides a wrapper around another library called BrowseMirror. TipTap is used by hundreds of projects and can therefore be considered a pretty stable foundation. JinnTap was financed by the Office of the Historian to support the workflow of the historians at the US Department of State. It complements the existing web-based annotation editor, which is already used to annotate a base text with semantic analytic or text-critical markup, interfacing with authority databases. In this screenshot, we see the annotation editor as it is currently used by the historians at the Office of the Historian and other projects worldwide. However, annotations assume a stable base text with the block-level structure of the text already established. And for this, you would still need to use a different editor like, for example, Oxygen. JinnTap closes the gap by providing a more generic editor for TI and other kinds of markup languages. You can use it to create the base TI and then continue with web-based annotations, or you do all your editing within JinnTap. Both tools share a common base. Unlike HTML-based editors, JinnTap operates on the XML TI source. So there's a direct correspondence between the editor display and the XML in the background of the editor. Strict validation ensures the structural integrity of the document at all time. However, JinnTap does not try to be a one-size-fits-all solution, which is rarely a good idea in the humanities, but supports extensive customization to match your specific encoding practice, and this will likely differ from project to project. It is backed by an extensible schema, allowing you to customize all aspects of the editor. And finally, it works for any type of XML, not just TI, given that you provide an appropriate schema. So now let's move on to a quick demonstration video. For this demonstration, let's assume we are in the middle of transcribing a source. We already have most of the text, but it needs some refinement. So first, let's format this table of contents into a list. And the first item should actually be the heading of the list. That's also possible. Then we can check how this looks in the TI, in the background of the editor, and you can see there's a direct correspondence between the TI and what you see. Now let's do some more block level editing and turn the first two paragraphs into a division. We also add the heading, which was there in the source. It was the introduction. You may have noticed that I was just typing two hashes at the start of the line, which automatically then turns the line into a heading. We can obviously also have figures, so let's just insert some funny image here. To the right, you see what attributes are provided for each element. This is fully configurable. Obviously, those are not all attributes supported in TI, but you can extend that. We can also mark up entities and connect them with an external authority database. In this case, we're using German GND for people and geonames.org for places. So references to those entities will be automatically inserted. Let's do some simple inline markup, like mark this as a title. We have a gap there, probably one word missing. So we can click on the gap and change the attributes accordingly. We can also have unlimited nested inline elements. So let's do an expansion here. So apref expand. So you can see how this is nested into a choice. Let's insert a footnote at the end of that paragraph, and it jumps down to the footnote area, and you can see it's inserted at the right position in the order. Then let's say we did that in the wrong place, so we just delete the footnote and insert another one there, and you can see how the previous footnote got disassociated from its anchor, and we can retarget it. And that was a feature in particular requested by historians, because often they have the footnotes, but they don't have the anchors. We can again look at the TI to see that the anchor was properly inserted. And finally, we can also have tables. So let's just for a quick test, delete a row from that table. Tables have their own menu. You can also edit attributes on block level elements which are not directly selectable in the text. Just going through the breadcrumb nav you have there. And then we save the document. And for demonstration, we can go back now to the annotation editor, which shows now the updated text. So there's a direct correspondence between the two editors. And you can see that we have the same kind of entity lookup tools within that editor as well. And last but not least, let me point out an experimental feature, namely collaborative editing, which allows more than one person to work on the same document at the same time. And you can just see in those two screens how the other person is editing things in this document. Thank you very much.